Good day and welcome. The following presentation is about data repositories and the role they play in efficient research data management. The presentation will go over what research data management is and just what makes it important. Data repositories will also be described and their benefits will also be touched on. It will look at what are the benefits of data repositories and just what impact and what importance they have in today's information society. So, what is research data? This is recorded factual material used by the scientific community to validate research findings. Research data management. Just what is research data management? This is the process of controlling information that is created during a research project. Scholars are to use good data management principles as they're required when any research is conducted. This is because managing data is a crucial part of the research process. According to Cox and Verbin, research data management involves making, finding, organizing, sharing, and preserving data within any research process. The research data lifecycle. The research data lifecycle involves the stages of planning, collecting, processing, analyzing, preserving, sharing, and reusing data. These stages are the activities that form part of research data management. What are the benefits of research data management? So, research data management ensures that research data and records are accurate and up to date. It prevents the research data from being unnecessarily duplicated. Research data management also ensures that there is data security. It also ensures that time is saved and that resources are also saved. The importance of research data management. So, an example which indicates the importance of research data management would be with how weather observations are conducted. So when observations of the weather are made, they cannot be repeated, and those findings should thus be stored. If the data is lost, then it is lost forever. This is why research data management is important. The data can be managed within the life cycle and be preserved for future use. Another example is scholars and researchers. Scholars and researchers need data and information to conduct further research. Research data management is needed to make this data accessible and available. The data should be accessible for other researchers and yourself when you need it in future. Let's go into more detail about data repositories. So data repositories are places that store, share, and organize data in a structured manner. They're also known as data centers, data archives, or scientific databases. So, what are some of the benefits of data repositories? Well, the first one is that they assist with managing data. Data repositories also allow one to have the ability to organize their data. They also make the data findable by giving it a unique identifier, which makes the data much easier to locate and which makes it able to be found by the people or the future researchers looking for that particular data within the repository. Another thing is data discoverability. This is another benefit as data repositories make it easier for your data to be discovered by others. Another benefit is that the data becomes valuable. Data repositories store data, and this data is used by future researchers, which makes the data much more valuable. And another benefit is data preservation. The data within the repositories can be preserved for a long period of time. Okay, let's talk about the types of data repositories. There are three main categories that we will focus on for this presentation. The first category being domain-specific or disciplinary repositories. These are specific to a certain discipline and are often owned by an organization. The next category is general purpose or open repositories. These allow for researchers to make their data available regardless of the institution that they are affiliated with. The last category that we'll look at is institutional repositories. These are associated with the researcher's place of study. Staff and students of the University of Pretoria can use its research data repository. So, according to Lin, institutional repositories store data that is made by members of an institution. The different categories prioritize different aspects of data management and sharing. The diagram on the screen gives an impression of prioritization, and the priorities are assigned on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 having the highest priority. From the diagram, we can see that domain-specific repositories usually have in-depth curation and close interaction with the user community. A fair. The fair data principle ensures that the value of data shared in repositories is increased. FAIR stands for findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. The data must be findable. Metadata should be assigned to unique identifiers so that it can be easily found by users. The data needs to be accessible. metadata or the data should be easy to access. Even when the data is no longer available, it should still be accessible for those who are looking for it in future. Interoperable. Metadata must use a formal and broadly recognized language. That way, more users are able to understand it and understand how to find the data which they are looking for. And lastly, the R in FAIR stands for reusable. Metadata must be described with relevant attributes and should be released with a clear data usage license. Examples of data repositories. The disciplinary repositories that are there is read3data.org, fairsharing.org, and repositoryfinder.datasite.org. The generalist repositories, examples of these, which are free of charge, is Figshare, Zenodo, Harvard Database, Open Science Framework, and lastly, Mendeley Data. So in conclusion, research data management is important for the research process as it contributes to the accuracy, accessibility, and preservation of data. Data repositories are crucial. In fact, they are pivotal as they provide a central place where data can be stored and shared. Good research data management practices enable researchers to protect their data as well as have access to data for future studies. They are able to keep track of the data that they have used, the data that they will need in order to conduct their research. Welcome to the end of this presentation, and hopefully now you understand what research data management is and how it fits into the research data lifecycle. You should also have some understanding of what data repositories are and just the benefits that data repositories do have for researchers and anyone in general who would like to share and store and preserve their data. The references used are as per below. Thank you.